Good afternoon and welcome to the Offers.com Hangout. I'm Michelle Stinson-Ross for Offers.com. And today we are joined by Nikki O'Toole of Fashion Finds on a Dime. Nikki, you want to say hello for a moment?
Hi, thanks so much for coming and for hanging out with us.
Wonderful. Nikki, would you take just a moment to kind of give folks an overview of um, the vision of Fashion Finds on a Dime? Why you write what you write, and what's the purpose in sharing your fashion finds every month?
Well, for me, it started out being essentially trying to hold myself accountable for a budget. We were in a really tight financial spot, but I just was struggling with, craving my shopping habit, and I wanted to see, how much I could get out of the little, clothing budget that we had. So initially, I just kept finding these fantastic deals, being that I work in the retail industry as a merchandiser. So I just would find these great deals, and I'd come home and I'd share them with my husband, and I just was elated, and of course he doesn't care. Initially, I just wanted to be able to share with people these great finds, and then we kind of came up with a strategy to really talk about how you can maximize your budget and still get designer fashions. And focus specifically on those designer items as opposed to, necessarily getting a great deal at Target or at a thrift store or at a consignment shop. You can still get great deals there. But for me, my focus was to be on designer fashion and at full price, getting these great deals at stores that everyone has in their towns, and maximizing my budget. So I wanted to kind of share how I get those great deals with everybody so that everyone else could, be empowered to get these great deals as well.
Cool. Yeah, one of the things that really struck me when I first started getting to know you was this concept that we don't have to be cheap in order to save money. Saving money can absolutely go hand in hand with quality, and I love that about Fashion Finds on a Dime's mission.
Yeah, that's one of the things I focus on. I have so many people who say to me, I can't afford to shop at Macy's or Anthropologie. And yeah, you can though. You just have to be diligent, and you have to know when to strike, when to shop, either look online pretty frequently or go into the stores pretty frequently. But I get excess of 85% off constantly at these big stores. So it's just about, changing your approach to shopping.
Excellent. Well,
Excellent.
that is.
That is.
Do you have another tab open?
Do you have another tab open? I have lots of other tabs open. Are we getting some feedback here? I'll just shut some stuff down here. I am notorious for having at least 10 tabs open at all times. So
Quite all right.
Is that better? Quite all right.
We still got
Okay.
it.
We still got it. No. What is it? What are you hearing?
Probably the
Probably
live
the
hangout event.
live event. Oh, is it better?
Hang on.
Hang on.
Nope, still got it.
Nope, still got it. I don't know what to do.
Keep closing down tabs.
Keep closing down tabs. They're all shut. I don't know. I'm sorry.
It's all right. This is all part and parcel
This is all part and parcel
of a live show.
of a live show. Okay, well, I only have one tab open, and it's you.
Are you sure there's not
Are you sure there's not a window
somewhere down there?
somewhere down there? Not that I'm seeing. I'm sorry. Uh, that is it. That is everything.
All right. You know what?
All right. You know what? I'll do
and make sure that all my tabs are closed.
closed.
All right, I should be clear.
I should be clear.
Well,
Is tech support still in the room?
he is not. He took the kids for a walk. I'm sorry. So, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
No, it's all right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else to do.
Let me recommend
that
you log out for a moment
a moment
and click
and
the
click
link that
the
I
link that I
sent you an email.
sent you an
and come
email
back in.
and come back in.
Okay. Sounds good. I'll be right back.
Got it right. Sorry about that. You know what? Sometimes we have little technical glitches. I noticed that right before we started getting the feedback that her audio had actually cut out. We love the live tools that Google gives us, but every once in a while they're a little bit glitchy. So we appreciate you guys just giving us a moment to get the technical issues taken care of, and she will be right back with us. I made sure that she did have a link to get back into the Hangout. Not a problem. She'll be right back. I will say, while we are waiting for Nikki to rejoin the Hangout, that one of the things that we want to talk to Nikki about, obviously, is the concept of a better lifestyle for the budget that you have. There's no reason to have to think that you have to shop for everything on the cheap or everything on a secondhand basis or anything else. Now, granted, you can find all kinds of really great, cute stuff at discount stores and thrift shops and that kind of stuff. And there's definitely some one-of-a-kind things that you can only get at, say, a thrift store. But in the service of making sure that we live our best life possible on our budget, I really am thrilled to bring Nikki back to you to talk a little bit about how she budgets for her fashion shopping, how she has particular shopping rules. She's going to show us a little bit of what she found in the month of January and also give us some tips as to what we can find now during the month of February. She also has some tips and tricks for dressing up for Valentine's Day. And we might even talk a little bit about celebrity style. There we go. All better, Nikki?
I think so. Do you hear anything now?
I hear you loud and clear, and I don't get any feedback.
Excellent. Okay. I am so sorry about that. That was just crazy.
Not a problem. Every once in a while, Google gets a little bit glitchy. It's all right. That part of the reason why I make sure that my guests all have that link so that they can get back in should there be a glitch.
Yeah, weird.
And while we were waiting for you to come back in, I just kind of gave a preview to the audience of the discussion points that we want to hit today. So now that everybody knows what you're all about, what I'm all about, let's talk about setting a budget and particularly your shopping rules. So there's a couple of things there. First of all, why don't you tell folks a little bit about how you set a fashion budget and why it's set the way you did it?
Well, I think, everyone's budget's going to be different for them in terms of, clothing. At first, ours was $200, and we have a family of 5. I have 3 little guys under the age of 7. And at first, it was $200 for the whole family. And then I would find, somebody needed socks, somebody needed underwear, somebody needed, new dress shirts or whatever for work for my husband. And I I couldn't, I didn't have enough money to really put a lot of content into the blog because it's a whole month that I'm trying to share my finds. So then I'd be left with $50 for myself, which you can get a lot with $50, absolutely. But for the purpose of the blog, we needed more money just to be able to fill it with content every month. So for us, we ended up settling at $200. Fortunately, we've been very blessed, and we that is a comfortable amount for us at this point. And then we have a separate budget for my husband's work and for the kids' clothes, etc. And I find fantastic deals on that stuff, but I digress. That's a different story altogether. But we ended up settling on the $200 just for fashion finds. And we've been doing this for a little over 2 years. And, I will say that some months I do very well with it, and then there's another month that, I find one thing. I think in February of last year, I found a pair of Fry boots. I just could not live without them, Michelle. They were the most amazing boots ever, and I spent my entire budget on one item. And I will never do that again because the blog that month was very stagnant because I just kept trying to find outfits to wear with these different boots, so I posted 10 different outfits and I tried to, post other things, but it's challenging to have a budget and to really stick within it. I think for anybody, but for yourself, you just really need to figure out, what is a comfortable budget for you. And some people, it's $20, and some people it's $1,000. It just depends on where you're at financially, but. Once you have that budget, no matter what it is, the real focus is to try and, obviously we want to make it go as far as we can, right? So patience, diligence, and just really being educated on, what you're shopping for and, how far you can get it to go. My biggest rule that I preach, and I would say I stick with it 90% of the time, my $30 75% off rule. It's a really good rule of thumb for anybody, whether you have that little budget of $20 or you have that large budget of $1,000 or whatever it may be. Trying to stick within either $30 for an item, trying to go no more than that, or 75% off at least. So if you see a pair of shoes that's $50, well, is it 75% off or more? If not, you could probably wait. If you see a top that is $10 but it's only 50% off, well, is that really that good of a deal? It depends on what you think, but I try to at least abide by one of those two things to really maximize my deal. So, and if I can, both, ideally. So that's kind of my biggest rule that I push.
Any other, maybe not hard and fast rules, but some other rules of thumb that maybe kind of help that along?
Yeah, I do my best to find coupons. Most stores take coupons, and I know that at Offers, you guys are really big on coupons as well. But, if you go into Macy's, even like Nordstrom Rack has coupons or coupon codes. Oftentimes, if you're shopping online, there's free shipping coupon codes. I go to Retail Me Not often because they have lots of different coupon code options. Most online dealers, I can't stand paying shipping. So most of them you can find a free shipping code. If you can't find one, I'll often call the customer service and ask for one. I would say, again, about 80% of the time they'll just give you a coupon code over the phone just for making the extra effort of calling. Gap is a big one, Banana Republic, Piper Lime, Old Navy, all those are really big with coupons. And I try not to preach about credit cards, about getting a credit card. I don't like credit cards as a rule. But, and I've got a few posts on my website about this. There are some credit cards that are nice to have. The Macy's card, they often will give you 20% off if you just use the card. And for me, I don't like carrying a balance on my cards because I don't want the company to get any of my money, right? So I try not to carry a balance. So what I will do is I'll use the card, get my 20% off, or my $10 off, or my $20 off, whatever it may be, and then immediately while I'm at the register in the store, I'll pay it off right away, right there. So that way I'm never holding a balance. I just recently got a Gap card. We do a lot of shopping. My husband is super tall, so I do a lot of shopping at bananarepublic.com because they've got tall sizes. Mm-hmm. And because of that, I did get a Gap card. And they don't let you pay off that Gap card in the store, which is frustrating for me. I don't like that. But so I've resisted getting a card for a long time. And then it just kind of started to make sense to do so. So we did recently get a card. But again, I will go home and I'll pay it off right away. So if you can be diligent about paying off these credit cards immediately, and it makes sense to get one, because of coupons or discount codes, etc. I would say as long as you know that you can be diligent, those are some good ways you can save more money. And it makes sense. They've got Von Maur's, a store I used to shop at a lot when we lived in Kentucky. Dillard's is a store I still frequent. But those credit cards, they just don't make sense to me to get one. I mean, there's not like extra incentives other than they just tell you like ahead of time if they're having sales. So those kind of card. But again, if you are diligent about paying it off, that's another good way to save more money.
Excellent. So, the reason we brought you here today. Would you mind sharing a few of your fashion scores for the month of January?
I would love to. This is my favorite part. This is why I came up with the blog. It's essentially to dish on the great deals that I've come across. And everyone has those great deals that they've received. They went into a store and they randomly grabbed something and it rang up for less than it was marked, or they happened upon a fantastic sale and they called up a girlfriend right afterwards to gush about it. And this is my way of gushing just to anyone who wants to listen, because I just got some great deals last month. So right after Christmas, of course, all the stores are marking down all their winter apparel. So it's a really good time to buy. February, this coming month, and I'll talk about this in a few minutes, but February is going to be the best time of the year to save on winter apparel. But again, there was this little kind of window there in January before everyone started pushing Valentine's Day where they were slashing prices in a lot of stores. You can probably get them for a little bit of a better deal in February, but a lot of the merchandise is going to be sold down. So in February, I went into Dillard's that day after, or that New Year's Day sale. They had an additional 50% off all of their pink ticket clearance items. And I was able to purchase this BCBG sweater here. It's a BCBG Generation, and if you're not familiar with BCBG Generation Max Sazria, the Generation portion of this brand is a little bit more budget friendly. It's a little bit more youthful, and it's just the price point is a little bit more comfortable. So this was full price $88, and I was able to get it for around $22, so roughly 75% off. Then I love these pants. These are Max Sazria, BCBG Max Sazria. So they were originally $138. That's a little higher price point, especially for a legging, a pleather legging. It just, again, it's, for me, I feel a little overpriced, but it's that Max Sazria brand that just carries that higher price point. It's a little trendier. And I was able to get these for $27. They fit wonderfully. I didn't try them on. I don't usually try things on in the store unless it's stores that have a final sale on their clearance purchases, like J. Crew or some items that Banana Republic and Gap are final sale. Those items I'll try on before I leave the store because I can't return them if they don't fit. Mm-hmm. So anyway, those two pieces I just bought right away without trying them on, and they both fit wonderfully. So I was very pleased with that. That same day, I went over to J. Crew. They were having an extra 40% off their clearance, and I was able to get these lovely distressed jeans. They've got holes in the knees, which isn't for everybody, but I just thought they were kind of casual and fun. I've said on my blog, and I'll say again, I bought them a size up in the store because they fit so snugly, but after wearing them around, I wish I would have gotten my usual size. So those run true to size, I would say. But they were originally $125, and I was able to get these for just under $30. I will say, though, with J. Crew, they are so often do an extra 50% off their sale. And I happened to be in there, and I saw these, and I had to have them. But they did go down lower. Unfortunately, J. Crew does not do price adjustments, and they don't do returns on any of their sale merchandise. So I was stuck with them at $29 around, but they did end up going down to around $22. So I was kind of bummed when I learned that. I never like hearing that because it means I could have gotten a better deal. So it always Frustrates me. Another find I got was these Franco Sarto boots here. Can you see those here?
Yeah, those are great.
Aren't those so cute? So I almost never shop at Marshalls and TJ Maxx for clothes. Not because they're not great places to find deals, because they can be, but the time that goes into it, you really have to sift. And everyone always tells me, oh, I don't have time to buy things like you do, shop like you do on a budget. But I shop very quickly and efficiently. I also don't have time to shop like I do. So I just run in, run out. And I happened to go in there to look for some stuff for my house. And I found these boots, and they were not even like the best deal I've ever gotten. They were originally $119, and I purchased them for $35. They were on clearance at TJ Maxx for $35. But I just decided that I had to have them, so I purchased them. They were a decent deal, but not my best, definitely. The shirt that I'm wearing, it's a simple black shirt, but it's by James Perse, and James Perse is a really expensive designer. Most of his items range for just a plain cotton t-shirt, somewhere around the neighborhood of $50 to $215 for just t-shirts. His pants are in the neighborhood of between $200 and $350. Dresses are those same price points. So it's a really expensive designer brand, but I was shopping at a local boutique, and this shirt was originally $155 because it's a silk blend, and I was able to pick it up for $20, which I just love this brand. It's a fantastic brand, but it's really overpriced if you ask me. But different story. Again, if you can get something James Perse for a deal, just buy it because you're not going to regret it. The material stays for a long time. It washes nicely. It's just a great brand. These jeans that I'm wearing, which I feel kind of weird standing up and showing you, but I'm going to do it anyway. Let's see.
Oh, those are cute.
Oh, that's cute. So they're like a slim boyfriend, and they're by this awesome brand, Adriano Goldschmied, and they're called AG Jeans. Adriano Goldschmied. You can get them at any really high-end boutique carries them. Piper Lime, Anthropologie. They are an American-made denim, which is always great. If I can buy American-made, of course, I prefer to. So everything is manufactured here and made here, and they run $215 full price, and I was able to get them at Piper Lime. They were having an extra 60% off their sale, and I had 2 coupons for $10 each with that Gap card, so I got them for $40. Great deal on those. I love these pants. And then my last find of the month that was probably the best deal I've ever gotten on anything. And maybe a little impractical, but do you see how excited I am about these right now? It's ridiculous. Are these boots?
Yay! Okay,
Are they not?
I know what those are all about, but you need to tell everybody else.
Okay, so these are Donald Pliner, and if you're not familiar with Donald Pliner, a fantastic, amazing shoe designer. Again, really high-end. So these are like a cheetah shearling. And to be honest, I think that they're real fur, but I don't know. I didn't do my research because, to be honest, I didn't really want to do my research. I didn't want to know if they were real cheetah. But and then they're a suede here as well. And I was in this local boutique called A Piece Unique in Shoes. It's the cutest boutique. They have a lot of high-end stuff, and it's also where I purchased this James Perse top. And I was sifting through their sale stuff like I do. I'm that kind of annoying shopper that I just go straight to the clearance and kind of, sift. And I saw these shoes. They were the only ones they had in this box that, had red kind of all over it, so I knew it was on clearance. And I had to get them. I looked at them, and I just tried them on. I'm like, okay, these are ridiculous. I can't buy these, obviously, because where would I ever wear them? This is not something I can have. And as I'm walking around the store kind of, prancing around in them because they're so cute. The shop owner comes over to me and she just says, those are so cute on you. I didn't even realize we had any of those left. I haven't sold those for a long time. She said they got them in initially and they just flew off the shelves. But this one pair in a size 11, because I have ginormous feet, just hadn't gone anywhere and it just was still there. So she just said, you need to have those. And I kind of objected because I'm thinking, when will I ever wear these? I chase after 3 kids all day. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't know when I'd ever wear these. And she just said, you have to have them. I'll just give them to you for $10. So I have these shoes right here. Were originally $375. and she sold them to me for 10. So 97% off. I was very excited.
Who wouldn't be for 97% off? That is by far, I have giggled every time I have been by your blog and looked at that picture. And guys, you have to go over to fashionfindsonadime.com and actually go look at the post about these shoes, because not only does she have several pictures of the shoes, but she has a full-length shot of her standing in her mirror, this huge smile on her face. It is the best. It absolutely made my day when I saw that post.
Oh my gosh, I called up my husband right afterwards because, you know, you get so excited and it's like, who can you share this with? And my husband's like, okay, cool. I'm like, you don't understand. These are really expensive shoes. It's a great designer. $10. Can you please, like, pretend, like, feign excitement for me? So it was funny, but it, like, made my night, so. Oh, so that was pretty much it for me in January. And, you know, February, I've got a couple things that I haven't posted yet because I've been trying to get caught up from January. But I'm really looking forward to some great deals this month. And this month, again, my focus is really going to be on hitting those winter clearance sales, because most retailers, and especially your local boutique, is going to be trying to get rid of all their winter merchandise because they're getting in all that spring stuff right now. And I don't know about down there where you are, but here in Boise today, it is 65 and sunny. So everyone's kind of feeling spring. People aren't really shopping that winter clearance stuff right now. So you're going to be able to, if you focus this month, get some exceptional deals.
Well, and we'll probably get one more cold snap that we can actually enjoy those new purchases before we put them away for the year.
That's right. You are correct. That's the positive spin on it, is even though it probably will get cold again, at least we can kind of bust out those sweaters that we're going to be buying this month and those cute boots that you know you're going to see at 75% off at least this month. So that's true.
Is other than the winter stuff, I mean that's the most obvious. What else should we be keeping our eyes open for in February? I mean, and we can talk about jewelry, accessories, some of the stuff that maybe isn't clothing in particular, but in along that line, because I know you love the jewelry and the bling and the stuff that goes along with it too.
I do. I really love the jewelry. I struggle a little bit with trying to figure out exactly. I'm pretty narrow-minded with my jewelry finds, to be honest. I've got a few brands that I am obsessed with, and I know what they are. I know their quality. I'm familiar with the brand, so I try and kind of stick with those brands just because that's where my wheelhouse is. I mean, of course, I love Kate Spade jewelry, and Mark by Mark makes some excellent pieces. But for statement pieces, I still don't want to spend $100. You know, even if it's a great deal. You know, Kate Spade often does an extra 20% off or 25% off. And actually, I have to, tell you about this excellent experience I had at Kate Spade. I'm sorry to change topic. I'll come right back to that. But
no. We love hearing about excellent experiences.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. Okay, so my husband purchased me this little coin purse for Christmas, and it's so impractical. It's like, my son is 4 and he's obsessed with trains. And they had this little train coin purse from Kate Spade, and it's so adorable, but kind of personal in that sense that my son is obsessed with it. So anyway, so I just would never buy it for myself because it literally just fits coins. Like, you could not fit a credit card in there. And my husband purchased it for me for Christmas. It was $100 full price. It went down to $68. They had an extra 25% off of sale, and I saw it, and because I was telling him how much I liked it, and I'm like, oh, it's still just not a good enough deal. It needs to go down to like 35 before I'd feel comfortable with it. And then he bought it for me anyway, which was so sweet, but he bought it for me when it went down to 51, and there was no additional percentage off of sale. So then, since I get their emails, I signed up for their email alerts. I got an email saying that they had an extra 20% off sale. Well, he had already purchased this for me like 3 or 4 days before. I had it in my hands. And since we don't have a Kate Spade store in Boise, I decided to write them an email explaining that my husband just purchased this for me, and do they do price adjustments? And I got an email back just saying, absolutely, what's your order number, your husband's email address, and they immediately sent us that $10 difference between the $50 and what it would be with extra 20 off right away. I just was so impressed. They did not have to do that. It was a previous purchase on a sale item. It's not like I have, to be honest, I'm kind of a Coach girl myself, so I don't have this long-standing, history with this company, and I was so impressed that they honored this price adjustment on a previously purchased sale item. So anyway, Kate Spade, they're doing a really good job over there, and I will definitely be shopping there again. So,
well, that's exactly what they're hoping, that you had such a wonderful experience that you'll come back. And actually, that's a really informative story, because if you're willing to ask, you'll probably wind up with a better deal.
Absolutely. I mean, and it's just an email, so it's like, even if you don't like confrontation that much, it's an email, and that's all I did was email the company and asked, and they gave me that price adjustment. I was so impressed. So, again, I totally agree with you. If you are willing to ask, it's amazing what you will get. And that goes for any department store. Just ask. Do they have any coupons back there that they would be willing to share with you? And more often than not, they're going to want to save you money, because that means you're going to come back. Mm-hmm. So, again, I am so sorry for getting off topic here. Back to the jewelry. The brands that I really like to stick with, Lucky Brand and Anthropologie. All of their jewelry is really fun, and yet you can find it for really good deals, and it's good quality. All my Lucky Brand stuff, I never spend more than $15 on a piece of Lucky Brand jewelry. And my Anthropologie stuff, like this necklace actually, from Anthropologie, I try not to spend more than about $30 on their stuff. Not because I think it's better quality than the Lucky Brand stuff. I don't, but it will sell out. And their pieces are really, really pretty, and they're statement pieces, and it really, makes your outfit. Whereas I feel like the Lucky Brand stuff, typically, not always, is kind of more everyday wear. Mm-hmm. And I've had a lot of really good luck with that stuff. So those are the two brands that I really stick with. Of course, for my anniversary, my husband knows that I enjoy Tiffany's as well, but you don't get the deals there. So it's definitely a gifting only brand for me.
Okay, since you mentioned husbands and gifts and all that, we have Valentine's Day coming up, right?
That's right.
Do you want to talk a little bit about maybe not so much fashion shopping, but fashion styling for that Valentine's Day date?
Absolutely. We were just talking about this before we went live, and before my computer glitch earlier, which again I'm sorry about. Valentine's Day is kind of tricky. Right now specifically, all the stores are really pushing Valentine's Day styles, outfits, intimates, for you to just come into their store and purchase all of their Valentine's stuff. And while I do feel like you can get some okay deals right now on Valentine's apparel, you're not going to get the best deal on it right now. And your best bet is either to wait until after Valentine's Day and really hit those after Valentine's Day sales where they're trying to get rid of all their red and pink and black stuff, or and then wear that next year, mm-hmm. or to just open up your closet right now, pull out some items that are kind of along a little sexier maybe, or and repurpose them. So earlier we were talking, and I went to my closet just quickly and grabbed a couple things that I already have to see if we can kind of come up with an idea of something that that you already have in your closet that you can repurpose for Valentine's Day. So I pulled out two dresses, and I'm going to angle you towards my kitchen, which is a little messy, so I apologize. This is the first. And it's just a simple black dress. I purchased at Anthropologie, and it was originally $118, and I got it for about $32. It was $40 on sale, and then there was an extra percentage off. And I bought it last year, and I have not worn it yet. I bought it for actually a funeral, unfortunately. But again, you can repurpose these things. This is why, when I go out and I buy something for an occasion, then unfortunately, like a wedding, or which is not unfortunate, but like a funeral or a wedding or something that's a specific occasion that I need something, I make sure it's something I can wear again. Because you want to be able to don't throw your money away and buy something you only wear once. And with this, you could just wear some black heels, throw a red shrug over it or a red cardigan. I happen to have some red flats, some Steve Madden red flats that I think would look really cute with it. Depending on the weather, you could put a leather jacket over it. So there's a couple things that you can do with that. Another item that I happen to have in my closet I think we had like 1 minute before we went live and I ran back there to see what I had, is this this kind of tangerine red dress. And this is a splendid dress. I got a good deal on this last year at Macy's. It's so cute, but it's a little tight. So I personally would pair it with a denim jacket just to kind of dress it down, and probably some tights, maybe some black tights, just because it's a little tight. Makes me feel a little exposed. So I'd like to layer it myself. But those are two items that I already have in my closet that you can make a little bit more, Valentine's-y and, a little more date night appropriate by throwing some heels with it and, repurposing it for Valentine's season. So yes, you can go out and buy something right now, but if you do, maybe look back in the clearance section for a black or a gray dress, something that was really pushed in the fall season that's deeply discounted right now, and then buy a red scarf or something to go with it if you want to really make it holiday appropriate. But I would probably advise against shopping right now for that Valentine's outfit that the stores are pushing. They're only going to be 20% off, maybe 25% off right now. Whereas, 2 weeks from now, they'll be 75% off. So
right.
That's what I would do.
Oh, well, since you showed off an absolutely adorable red dress and a black dress, I'm thinking, those cute little boots would be fabulous with either one of those dresses.
I think they would, yes. I think I might have to utilize those for Valentine's Day.
Because there is no harm in throwing a little cheetah with a red dress.
Well, and I know how much you like cheetah. Look at your cute sweater that you're wearing.
I like my animal print. I will admit that.
They're timeless.
Mm-hmm. And it's neutral, so I can throw any number of colors with this, and it'd be absolutely adorable.
Absolutely. Teal, purple, all of those royal colors would look fantastic.
Right on. All right. One last question for you. We talked a little bit before we hit the broadcast button about celebrity styles. And I particularly kind of wanted your take on celebrity street styles and how you might pull together a similar look and still remain on your budget.
This is a really good topic. I feel like, in general, celebrities, they almost kind of feel unattainable with what they can purchase. Their budgets are more than $200 a month for their clothing. And they're also gifted a lot of merchandise from designers so that they will wear it and you and I will buy it. And I know that I personally am a little envious of that. But I will often look at their street style, what they're wearing to the grocery store, what they're wearing, just running errands, because that's more relatable to me than an Oscar outfit or something they wore to an event. The biggest events for me are my son's parent-teacher conference. So I need something a little bit more, everyday casual. So what I would do is I'll pull up a magazine or I'll see something online of a celebrity wearing something I like, and I kind of file it away. I have this kind of like shopping memory bank that I pull from. So I would see a pair of boyfriend jeans and a long sleeve striped tee on Jennifer Aniston, and when she's walking around with a cute little fedora or something, I just think, oh, that's so cute. I'm going to look for something like that. And then, through the next couple months or a few weeks when I'm shopping, I keep my eyes open for things like that are on my budget. I don't usually look at the exact brands of what she's wearing because typically those are going to be way out of my price point. Instead, I'll focus on what it looks like on her, and then I'll try to replicate it for a lower price point. If you do want to focus on the exact brand she's wearing, you can. um, you're just going to need to be probably a little bit more patient, and you're going to end up spending more. Not to say that those items won't go on sale, because they probably will, but what's going to happen is those are going to be items that are probably not at your local Macy's or Dillard's or Nordstrom. Well, they might be at Nordstrom, but they're probably going to be something you're going to need to go online, shop up, Nordstrom.com, those kind of places that are a little bit higher end, and then they'll sell out. So you need to kind of focus on what you are willing to pay for it and go from there, because you're likely not going to get it for a steal. So just kind of file it away, what they're wearing, what you want that's similar, and just keep your eyes peeled for it when you're shopping.
Very cool. That is all I have. Are there any parting thoughts, final tips, anything you want to add before we sign off?
I feel like I've talked to you to death, so I'm sorry for everybody for giving. I feel like I've given a ton of information, some without context. Really, the biggest thing I can push is to figure out what your budget is and do your very best to stay within it. Whatever you need to do to hold yourself accountable, if you have a girlfriend, if you're a spouse, and really hold yourself accountable to that budget, because for one, I think budgeting is really important, and it's something I've always struggled with, which is why this blog came about in general, is just to really hold myself accountable for spending the right amount of money, not splurging or going over my budget, but making sure that you're sticking within that. And if that means that you don't use any credit cards and you just use cash, do what you need to do to make sure that you're holding yourself to the standard that you need to, so that you're not overspending on fashion. Because I know it's a tricky subject, and it can be an addiction too. So you just need to make sure that you're holding yourself accountable. And then also, always, always, always ask for coupons, talk to your store associates, develop those relationships, because once you have those relationships, you can often get better deals just by asking. So those are the two major points that I like to push.
Nikki O'Toole, thank you so much for joining us for our Offers Hangout today. I hope that the rest of you have a fantastic weekend, and keep your eyes peeled for the next time we bring in a special frugal expert to talk about all things saving money.